We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hey everybody, this is Brandon with episode 60 of the DC Comics Review Show. Welcome back. As always, I have my amazing co-host here with me, Josh.
Hello, humans.
And Rob.
I am not a robot in disguise.
Very funny.
I don't believe him anymore.
You'll have to forgive me, guys, again. I'm in a basement right now, so there's going to be a little bit of an echo, I assume. I don't know. Maybe that'll get edited out, but for now,
better question is,
it's a little
are
echo.
you on cough medicine?
I am not. I am rested up, feeling much better.
I mean, that's good.
The cold is I would say mostly gone. Still have a little cough, but other than that, we are good to go.
So back to barely any F-bombs then?
Yes, yeah. Back to clean, sober, and happy. So this week we'll be covering Titans United, number 1, Joker, number 7, Justice League Last Ride, number 5, Superman and the Authority, number 3, the penultimate issue, and I Am Batman, number 1. Of course, make sure you stick around until the end of each episode to hear our top 3 books for the week, our biggest stinker, and which titles may just make the dump list. Before we get going, I do want to thank all of our Patreon supporters who help out with $1 more a month. And thank you listeners too. Like, download, and share episodes so we get more listeners and can bring you more content. So with that out of the way, let's get into some news, because there was news aplenty this week.
Yes.
So what's going on, guys?
You know what? I've written down so much crap.
Very cool.
Why don't you guys go ahead and I'll fill in some blanks if you missed anything.
Well, why don't we get some personal news out of the way first, if we have any of that stuff, and then we can get into the bigger stuff. So, first off, how are you guys doing?
Not bad.
Yeah,
I'm
not bad.
feeling a whole lot better. I think we're all healthy for once.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
I'm semi-healthy.
I believe so. I believe so.
As far as I feel, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Other than that, man, not a whole lot really is going on in the personal life. It's just been the same old. Kids are back in school, and they are, oh my goodness, I feel sorry. It's my youngest one's first year in kindergarten, and yeah, he's super cute, right? But he's also what's the easiest way to say this? All right, imagine the energy of the sun compressed into a marble.
Oh yeah, kids have so much energy, so much.
And like I just, there's times where I see him in the morning before he goes to school, and for a good first half of that day, I feel really sorry for his teacher.
No, these teachers are trained to deal with that kind of stuff, so they love it. Well, I hope they love it.
Well, yeah. If you don't love teaching, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, right?
Yeah, especially not with younger kids. Yeah.
How about any behind the scenes personal news with Mr. Brandon?
Nothing crazy. Just continuing with life and school.
How's school going?
All that's going well so far. I finally had some time to actually catch up on. I have a huge backlog of just trades that I bought over the summer that I didn't get time to read. And once school started, I completely ran out of time. But I've finally been able to make a small dent in it. So I read 2, and that was Severed, which I mentioned on our Slack channel,
right?
Which is by Scott Snyder, Scott Tuft, and Attila Pataki.
It's a really good team, man.
Yeah. It's a 7-issue horror series from Image. Came out in 2013, I believe. It was really good. I mean, I had had not heard of it either, but it really just I think took me by surprise because I think the best horror books are the ones where you finish it and it's like, it wasn't like, oh, that was kind of schlocky or whatever, on to the next thing. The best horror books are the ones that really stick with you. And you're just like, man, that was fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like that was exactly how I felt finishing Severed, where it just like, it's so funny that I'm like happy about it, but I finished the final chapter, the 7th issue, and I literally just had to put it down and like sit at my desk and look at my hands for a little bit because I was just so like uncomfortable and unnerved with the story because it just like I think and honestly, I mean, I don't think it would be that scary for a lot of people, but it just the way that I connected with the book just really left me unsettled. Because oh, go ahead.
There's a big difference. Okay, I can guarantee you we're about to start recording the new version of the Horror Pod, so that is actually coming out. I know I've been talking about it, so we've got this coming out in about a month. We're recording the new first episode this Sunday, excuse me. But in any case, that's going to be something that we start talking about, like the difference in what people consider scary. But scary isn't gore porn. That's just gross. Scary isn't, it's not, it's when you get pulled in and even though what you are taking a part of is completely fictional, something happens and you either go 6 inches back in your seat or you go, holy shit, or it makes you sit there and think about some things.
That was it.
That's when you know that is good horror.
Yeah, that was why I was like, okay, I like something really connected because I was just like I could not move on to anything else for at least an hour because I just could not stop thinking about it because literally it was the story is basically about a ageless man that feeds on children's hopes, but it is such a slow burn in how it basically reminds you how hopeless and sad things can be that it just it sticks with you and it doesn't even have a clean resolution. It's really just like, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much if you guys ever give it a chance, but
yeah,
for
I mean,
me,
it's a hell of a creative team and it's
I'll
give it a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely recommend it, and it's you should be able to find a copy pretty cheap because I don't think it's sold that well, but that sounds mean. But
well, I mean, that's kind
of that's what happened. But no, it was just like it was just really well done. And then the following day, I had a little extra time before class, so I read another book, Interceptor, from Donnie Cates and Dylan Burnett, and that was literally the exact fucking opposite, where it was just like big and loud and dumb and a lot of fun. But
well, yeah, it's Donnie Cates, man. It's
it was just like it was so funny. I know it was so funny to go from Severed to this because it was just like, man, that really just that just got me. And this one was just like space vampires, intergalactic war, fuck yeah! I had my death metal playing in the background, but no, it was that's all that's going on with me. Other than I got to catch up on some stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Well, speaking of graphic novels, man, I managed to put away almost 2 anyway.
There you go.
I got a Jessica Cruz one, Unearthed. That it's an alternate world. Jessica Cruz is young, but it's done really well. And I haven't made it all the way through Batman the World yet, but wow, that looks good, dude.
I've been hearing good things about Batman the World.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Harley Quinn Eat Bang Kill Tour. If you're a fan of the cartoon, you're a fan of the book. I love this thing. I know I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it on the cartoon review or comic book review show, but oh my god, I'm enjoying the shit out of it. I love the cartoon with all my heart.
I flipped through like the print edition they had in my LCS, and it looks great. Like, I mean, the art at least looks like really vibrant and colorful. Like, I was tempted to almost pick it up.
Yep, and the story that's going on with it, as absurd as it is, it's pretty good.
That's good. I mean, the show was like that too.
Yep. And then I guess this is my honorable mentions. Webtoons had a deal with DC, and they put out this thing called Batman Wayne Family Adventures.
Yes. Oh,
Dude,
love that series.
it's really good. It's written well. It's just a tiny little comic, but let me
It
tell you,
is so cute.
I don't know who this Starbite is. That's the artist, Starbite. But holy crap, dude! I mean, they've got some talent.
Yeah, no, I literally know nothing else except that they've been doing like other kinds of webtoons. But I saw that and I was like, oh my God, DC should have done this years ago when webtoons really started to boom. Because this is
Yeah,
like the moneymaker here. I don't know if you
they,
guys saw the numbers, but I think within the first 48 hours it had brought in over 400,000 people, which is
holy
insane.
cow!
Yeah, or at least had 400,000 views. So, I mean, obviously it could have been repeated people, but even still, I mean, that's an insane amount of eyes. So this is the moneymaker, and they know it.
Mm-hmm. And it's done really well. I got to give it to them, man.
Yeah.
But for all of those, the ones that you can't get in print edition anyway, go out to your LCS. If you can't get them, get on the internet. DC Universe, Comixology, they're all excellent resources. Just buy these books. Support the creators, because holy shit, it's been a great week for behind the scene comic books, man.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Actually, speaking of behind the scenes, I got to watch the what is it? The KLC Kids Love Chains live stream, which is basically just where Ryan Stegman just draws and people watch, and it's a lot of fun because it's basically exactly that. It's just watching the the behind the scenes making of a lot of these comics, and it's really cool to see. So
That
check
would
that
be
out too.
great.
I'm gonna plug them. I'm not sponsored by KLC Press at all. They don't know who I am, but I'm just gonna plug them anyway and say check out their
Oh,
Substack and their YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun.
you know somebody else we're not sponsored by? Hulu. But holy crap, man. Watch
Oh
Why
yeah,
the
yeah.
Last Man.
Let's pimp out Why the Last Man a
Oh
little
my
here.
god, dude, that's so good.
Oh man,
If you've read the books, watch the show. And if you've
yes.
watched the show, if you've checked it out and you're really interested, trust me, go read the books.
Oh yeah, Why the Last Man is literally one of my favorite series of all times, and I'm sure that sounds like something I say a lot. It's not. Like this was one of, I mean, I was so hooked on this series like 2 years ago because it just blew me away, and I was terrified that the adaptation was going to be disappointing. I wasn't
It
going to
is
like it.
not.
It is not. It is
It
not.
is
And
not.
I have to say, I really have to say, because I think this is my biggest concern. The main actor, I think his name is like Ben Schwerzer or something like that,
I'm not sure
who
how to pronounce
plays
it.
who plays Yorick.
Yeah,
He's great. Like I
really
was
good.
so nervous that whoever was gonna play Yorick just wouldn't be able to capture what I had in my head. But he's phenomenal. Like
He
he's
really, yep,
really believable. Like
perfect
I
casting for everybody.
yeah. So oh yeah, especially Yorick's mother,
Mm-hmm.
who's the actress who played Ma Kent in Man of Steel. So she's great. Everyone is great in that. Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff. But cosign. We're not sponsored by Hulu. We don't get any promotion from this. But if we
But
were,
you can feel
yeah,
free to pay us for it.
please,
God
I'll
honest
take
truth,
that.
though. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
I'll take it. I'll take it. No, no, no. But seriously,
Speaking of coffin promo, 1 month away from Fandom.
yep,
Close.
which we will be covering, of course. Are we gonna
Looking
do like a
forward
live
to it.
stream or something?
I think that is probably the best way to go. It is a lot easier to do this year than it was the last time around, where I tried to cover the entire thing, and
Yeah.
I didn't have the hardware and software necessary to do what I needed to do, so I just recorded it playing in the background. That didn't go over well.
I know. I wish there was an easier way I could live stream, especially on the go. I mean, I know there are people who can do it and who have ways of doing it. I just have no idea because I really want to. I'm going to NYCC in October, and I wish I could find a way to live stream that.
I can hook you up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I don't have like a GoPro or something. Like I don't really know what I would do, and I don't want to use my phone. It's gonna be janky as fuck. But yeah, I might be able to figure something out.
Figure something out.
All right, we've been burying the lead for too long. Let's get into the big stuff.
All right. Big stuff. I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this. This is the first. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but Batgirls is coming out.
That's right.
It's from Cloonan and Conrad. Now Jorge Corona is fantastic. I love his stuff. His style is just funky enough to make it really cool. But Cloonan and Conrad are responsible for fucking up Wonder Woman, man.
Yeah. But they did do Midnighter, which was pretty good. So
that's true too. That's true too. I forgot about
I'm always willing to give someone a second chance in a new environment because you never know how that might connect differently from something before.
They've been in Detective Comics within the last year or so, right? Then they wrote some stuff in Future State for in the Gotham world.
I don't believe so. No. Yeah. But Becky Cloonan did do. I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day, and I was just like, I think this is kind of perfect because Becky Cloonan did a book that I love dearly, like so much that I wish would come back. It's just Gotham Academy. I missed that book so much. It was so great, but my hope was that it would have something similar in tone to that. Based on the description, it kind of seems like that's what they're going for. So. I'm pretty optimistic about this one because Gotham Academy was a very teen-centric, young adult focused kind of book. Really just looking to have fun and not doing anything offensive, just fun, engaging, lighthearted stories. And I think that's exactly what a book like Batgirls would need. Not something dour or depressing or serious, just something that you can enjoy. And sounds like they're really pitching it as kind of a YA thing, which I think is perfect.
Yeah, and on that front, although I think that they could do more, it's nice that DC is finally coming out with so much. I've kind of noticed them already retreading water. There's more than one Raven and Beast Boy book. There's doing a Raven and Beast Boy together kind of book. That Poison Ivy is already doing multiple things. So I hope that they try and start stepping out of that. But I know they're YA books. My 8-year-old will read the hell out of them, and he absolutely loves the DC superhero girls. He thinks that's the coolest shit. So
that's awesome,
right?
Yeah. But no, I think it's good just because I feel like a book like this should be bringing in a more wide range of people, and not just the stereotypical like late guy in his late 20s, 30s, comic book shop guy who's almost certainly going to pick up a book like that. Like it should bring in a wide crowd, especially for something that'll have a really cool premise like this. So if it does that, in my eyes, it succeeded. Like as long as it can bring in a wide swath of people, I'll be happy.
Yep. And on that note, again, check out the Unearthed, a Jessica Cruz story. I really liked it, man. It was good.
I flipped a bit through that. It looked really interesting.
There's what else is there, guys? There's other stuff.
It was a big ass week. Should I just go through it or what?
I mean, if you want to, absolutely. Yeah. Just whatever you guys got, spit it out.
I mean, it's literally they released the freaking floodgates this week, but basically the gist is we've got a lot of new stuff coming in December. Things that I think we're all pretty excited for, I would say. As we already announced Batgirls, but of course can't just be in the Bat universe forever. There's also World of Krypton, a 6-issue series from Rob Venditti, who's amazing, and Michael Avon Oeming, who is also pretty good.
He's either really good or damn, bro.
I always say it. I'm consistent with this. He's great in Powers. I love Powers, but everything else is varying quality. Yeah.
It'll be nice to see him outside of Gotham, which is where I feel I've seen him the most lately. Gotham-centric characters, and that's just not his home, man.
No, I think I'm hoping Krypton will give him the opportunity to just kind of stretch out and do a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And speaking of stretching out and doing crazy shit, Swamp Thing, Green Hell from Jeff Lemire, Doug Mahnke, and David Barron. That's an all-star team. I don't even really have to say anything else. You're just going to buy it based off that. Like, let's be honest about it.
Right. It's not Levi Kamei. It's Alec Holland, but it sounds amazing, dude.
Oh, yeah. It takes place in a far distant future. It's Lemire's first time doing a Swamp Thing-focused book, and I believe the first time Doug is doing a Swamp Thing book as well. And I think the most exciting part is that it's being put out in the 8.5 by 10 format, because I fucking love that format. Is the best thing, one of the best things that they've come up with in the Black Label line. Every book that they've put out in that size has been amazing.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys read the Hellblazer book from Derek Robertson and Tom Taylor that came out in that size.
Yes.
Phenomenal. I mean, even if the story was just okay for me, you could just look at the art from Derek Robertson blown up in that size, and it's worth the price of admission. I was so happy that they did that. So the fact that we're going to get these amazing spreads of just crazy shit from Doug Mahnke is totally exciting. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Any other titles you want to talk about?
There's still more. One Star Squadron, Mark Russell and Steve Lieber.
This is so ridiculous.
So ridiculous, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Did you guys read one?
No job too small. Red Turbo Egg.
Hell yeah. Did you guys read Wonder Twins?
By
chance?
Oh yeah. We reviewed comics. That was back when we did them all, man. Fuck that.
Nice. No, that was a really funny book. So I'm expecting something like that, which is just, I mean, especially with Steve Lieber, who's such a fucking giant when it comes to comedy. One of the funniest books I have ever read.
Can't be in comedy.
One of the funniest books I've ever read was Superior Foes, which was Nick Spencer and Steve Lieber, and that book was just wall to wall with gags and jokes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I fully expect something like that. One Star Squadron, check it out. All of these are coming out in December, with the exception of not so much a new title, but a bit of a relaunch, and that is or is relaunch the right word? I don't know. How would you guys describe it? The thing they're doing in Detective, the 12.
I would say, I guess, a new story arc.
Yeah, new story arc. However you want to call it.
I'll tell you what I'll call it. Some sexy ass covers, man. Oh
yeah.
Goodness, are those beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot, and 12 comics in 12 weeks, all at $4.99 is something that I don't think I've done since House of X and Powers of 10. So this has to be dropped
insane,
in amazing.
I
hope it is.
It's going to adjust my wallet for the next 3 months. Let me tell you.
Well, my hope is that it is good enough where you kind of just forget about that and are like, all right, I'm good. I can forgive it because I'm so into it. But we'll see. It's from the usual suspects.
Yeah, $20 a month on a comic brand.
Yes, sir. It's from the usual suspects. Mariko Tamaki, art from Yvonne Reis. Yvonne Reis, Max Rayner, and I'm gonna mess this up. Amanke Nwalpin. Yes, thank you, Josh, for the save.
You're welcome.
I was not gonna get that right, but they'll be working on the, like I said, 12-week event, Shadows the Bat, spinning out of Fear State, resolving some plot points with a new Arkham Tower, as well as a new mysterious villain, Dr. Weir. Swear to God, these villains pop up like every other week.
Oh, Jesus.
Gotham just breeds them like rats or something.
It's not just Gotham that's doing that this week, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But That unfortunately, did I just say unfortunately? That fortunately is not all. They have one final one, and that is just picking up on the announcement that came out a couple weeks ago that reborn writer extraordinaire Joshua Williamson will be taking over for Batman in 118 after Fear State, and we've been given a little bit more detailed as well as some designs for the upcoming stuff. So we got a look at the new design for the new villain Abyss, as well as the not so much of a redesign, but more of like a tweaking on the Batman Incorporated costume.
Which I like it.
Oh yeah, I love that costume
Looks
by the
good.
incredible Jorge Molina. And yes, you heard me right, Batman Incorporated. They finally stopped toying with us and have openly admitted that Batman Incorporated will be making its triumphant return
I'm
in
so
some
excited.
shape or fashion. Yeah. Cue the music, guys. So yeah, that's it's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I'm definitely pretty excited. You know, it's a lot in December, and I'm hoping that there's a lot of activity and cool spoilers coming up in the next few months.
Yeah. Rob, you got anything left?
Yeah, I've been talking too much.
I've got one more thing that we haven't covered yet, but Rob, if you got anything, go ahead.
I just one thing I'm excited about that I completely understand not everybody would be, but spinning out of the first story in this week's Batman Urban Legends, we're getting a 6-issue series for Batman Beyond starting, I think, in January.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to read that.
Yeah, I checked out. I've only read the first. I've read the Batman Beyond story in that issue, and honestly, it was a little odd, but I think it's the perfect evolution of the character. It's right at home. It fits well. I'm excited for it.
I haven't checked that one out yet, but I'll have to give it a look. Josh, I don't think I've ever asked your take on Batman Beyond. I think I kind of assumed you would hate it because you weren't the biggest fan of Dark Knight Returns and the bebop speak, as you called it. And I know Batman Beyond had like a ton of that because I loved it. I love their future speak so much. I don't know why.
Okay, so when I was introduced to Batman Beyond, obviously it was through the cartoon. And I didn't pick up a Batman Beyond comic for like a while after they started being made. And I don't know, maybe it was just because of I guess you would call it nostalgia from watching the cartoon or whatever, even though I was older when it came out. Or whatever you would call it, but I really liked the idea of Terry McGinnis coming in and taking over with a really old Batman, and somebody stepping in rather than Batman fighting people with neon green hair calling themselves the mutants, who turn into the Sons of Batman.
I love it. I still love it.
That's insane.
It's all good.
That's absolutely crazy. Don't get me wrong, if I ever met Frank Miller, I'd still get his autograph, but that's some shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is that it? You guys all tapped out? 'Cause there was one thing y'all forgot.
What did we forget?
They are letting Bendis come back with Legion of Superheroes and the new art.
Has that been
called-
announced?
Yes, Saga of the Gold Lantern. So you know me.
Where did?
What?
Yeah, it's like where did you see that? I've been trying to find that. So
I
could
believe I got
download
it off of DC's website.
Really?
I do believe so. If not, it was somewhere really close. But yeah, I saw that it's definitely coming back. And speaking of Bendis, and I'm only gonna just make a brief comment here, a brief statement, because this title is on the dump list. But I mean, it's unhealthy if I continue to hold the pressure in for too long. I'm sorry, guys. But Bendis has turned.
I have no idea what's coming, so I'm not
Bendis
sure
has
about
turned
this.
Justice League into total trash. Even though it's not my style, Phil Hester is a big name in comic books, like Sue Marquez and others. They're just thrown in with this guy on what should be at least decent books. Go ahead, read it. It's his Wonder Comics / Superman run all over again. Bullshit dialogue, bullshit action. All Bendis is doing is using DC's titles to pump out as many characters as he can. And can you think of another reason to do that other than live off of royalties if they ever use them again? Because I can't. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no other logical conclusion. And before everyone swings into action in this particular issue of Justice League, they take a moment to introduce themselves. It's complete nonsense. It's buffoonery, and the story sucks too. End of rant. I'm all done now.
Cool.
That's
In happier news, check out Joy Operations from Dark Horse in October or November, I believe. That's a creator-owned book from Brian Bendis that looks pretty cool. And Stephen Byrne is also really great.
Stephen Byrne is really good.
Yeah, so trying to keep it lighthearted.
Trying to
keep it lighthearted and positive.
Honestly, I have issues with Bendis's superhero comics so far in DC as well, as much as the next fan of comics. But his own stuff, his original ideas, are honestly really good. And
yeah, I love Powers.
Quite honestly, I think when the news broke years ago that he signed exclusive with DC, the internet blew up, the comics world blew up, and there was a lot of dread going around online about what title is he going to take over and mess with. And we found out it was one of the fucking flagship titles, of course, which makes sense considering his status. But I think DC
it's not
is the
deserved
problem
status
because they're putting him. I think they're forcing him onto these books, expecting gold, and they're getting fake gold. But they think it's gold. They have really bad jewelers in these comic industries.
Yeah.
So
they're expecting gold and getting gold lanterns.
Yeah,
I have so many questions about that.
Don't worry, you'll get a
Green
12-issue
Lantern
run
gold?
that'll leave you going, I read 12 issues and didn't get any answers.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Or just don't read it. That's my advice. I stopped reading Superman and my life was a lot better.
Rorschach. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I like to. I'm very much someone who loves to give creators and creative people the benefit of the doubt more often than not.
It
try
disappoints
and be
me
as
to see
optimistic.
something. I'm sorry. It disappoints me to see somebody who takes their ideas, the ones that they control and mold, and can actually produce decent stories. But when they are in a corporate position to where they can just sit there and basically do whatever they want because they've been given carte blanche. And what they do is just sit there and mine gold instead of putting out good stories. That bums me out, man. You're not even trying.
No, I, to be honest, I totally agree with you. That was one of the biggest problems I had about their Dark Designs in Joker War. It just felt like a factory for new characters that I didn't care about that would get a Todd McFarlane figurine at some point in the near future. And you could live off the royalties forever. It was like the Punchline, Clown Under. I don't care about these people. So I'm in total agreement with you there that I mean, I understand the name of the game is you got to create new things. And it's totally understandable, but when it basically becomes a factory for half-baked ideas with no personalities and no characters, it's kind of hard to take it seriously, which is why I was having so many problems with Batman pre and a little bit of post Infinite Frontier. But like I said, I'm definitely someone who tries to give the benefit of the doubt. So there was a point where I was like, you know what, I'm complaining about this too much. Like, let me just enjoy the books that some of these people are putting out that I really like, and not feel like I have to torture myself by reading, the stuff that I don't enjoy as much. So that's why I'm giving the plug to Joy Operations, a book that has nothing to do with the larger DC universe, and should be, I hope, pretty fun.
Basically, what it boils down to is I'm this really loud and opinionated dude, and I don't take everything into consideration when it comes to art. But Brandon's like this super nice guy.
I know.
I'm half convinced he's half Canadian.
Honestly, I might be. I think I told Rob this the other day. No, I think I told Rob this the last time we were recording, but I was like, half of the cartoons I watched as a kid were produced and made in Canada. Yeah. So it's not surprising. That stuff would have rubbed off on me.
You are so nice. I will dub you an honorary Canadian on one condition.
Oh man, what do I got to do?
You have to say Zed.
Oh, I can't.
I
Sacre.
can't.
That's. I just can't. It's gross.
That
Right?
actually,
It's like it's the one thing I couldn't stand about Men in
No.
Black. The one thing.
Ugh, just gross. Just don't say it.
a conversation came up with some of my friends last week, and they, like me, born and bred Canadians, but some of them like hate the word Zed still, and I don't know why.
Just silly. I'm sorry, Canada, the entire country, but it's silly. But anyway, yeah, no, that's a bummer. It's making its return. I low-key had hoped it was done, but I guess we can't have nice things. Speaking of nice things, let's actually get into some books for this week.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right, yeah, Josh, kick it off. We're starting with Titans United, #1, new series. Take it away.
All right, Brandon wasn't there for that conversation yesterday. I was having a hell of a time, so Rob stepped in and grabbed up Titans United for me. So he's gonna take that one.
Oh, all right. Well then, my mistake, Rob. You do Titans United. Tell us all about it.
I will unite them Titans. So this
Yes.
is from writer Cavan, Mr. Scott. Art by Jose Luis, inks from Jonas Trinidadi, and colors from Rex Locus, and letters from Carlos M. Mangual. I am so sorry if I butchered any of your names. So, in San Francisco, a man is minding his own business while on the phone. He starts getting a headache, and then he develops a mutant gene and becomes Cyclops, the leader of the X-Men. Wait, that's the wrong book. Sorry, it's he gets heat vision. Sorry, yeah. And upon blasting a building, the Titans arrive at the scene to rescue civilians from the danger. This team consists of Nightwing, Starfire, Donna Troy, Raven, Beast Boy, Superboy, and Red Hood.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah, it seems
Put my
familiar,
name on
doesn't it?
It's almost like the big ass purple sticker on the cover might give it away.
Oh, I might have missed that sticker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they need to make it bigger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This team was certainly put to the max.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But oh God, yes, love the dad joke. Absolutely, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I love them jokes. Anyway, so Raven attempts to put this man to sleep, but then he transforms into a giant green gorilla and whacks her away. Beast Boy gets a little annoyed at this, gets into the fray as a lion, but is blasted away by the man's now Starbolts. The Titans begin to figure out what's happening, but Superboy's powers begin to fail, just in time for the man to begin to overload on his power. Superboy musters all the strength he can get and flies the man as high into the sky as he can get before he explodes. The explosion happens and the man perishes, unfortunately, and Superboy just barely survives, but is saved by a quick flyover to Titan's Tower to recover. After a couple of days' sleep, Superboy wakes up to find his arm broken, something that just should not happen.
Right?
Speaking
of which, did I miss something there? Do we know for sure that Bomb Dude, Power Stealer, do we know for sure that he died?
There was like something Superboy said that made it seem like he just died or disappeared or something. But it really made it, because Superboy is like Blast Zero, right? So he makes it seem like the man actually is gone.
Yeah, it looked like he had, vaporized or something. Like the fact that he fell to Earth and nothing fell with him is kind of suspect.
Like, there's a chance.
I get that, but from what I understand, I'm sitting there watching the dude. He is literally stealing the powers of the Titans.
Yeah.
So,
there are some Titans that have teleportation powers.
There's Titans that have teleportation powers, and then if you look at Superboy with his invulnerability and his ability to fly.
Yeah, but that definitely looked and felt like an explosion you don't come back from.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, yeah, it
we've
definitely
seen
did.
Batman come back from explosions he don't come back from.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We've seen Batman
But he's
come
Batman.
back
This
from
is
getting
just
shot
some
with a bullet and sent back to being a pirate.
yeah. Yeah, no, this yeah,
I was
but
thinking Dark Knight Rises, but that works.
well that too. Yeah, that too. But no, this is just some rando. He doesn't have the powers of the Bat God.
No, the Bat God. Yeah, that's very true. um,
You swayed the road home. I read every issue of that, hoping
What
it
a
would
trip.
get better.
You didn't like it? Oh my God, I love that miniseries. It is so crazy.
It was nuts, but okay, so it wasn't bad, but it was like, oh, that was a cool little individual story, but why is this like tied into the main book? And poor Tim Drake, throughout the whole thing, looking for him and believing in. Anyway, we're gonna get off on a tangent on that one.
No, I just that was so bad shit. I was just having a time.
It was bad shit.
I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent, but that was literally the same reaction my brain had with Batman R.I.P. Where I was just like, all right, you can't take this serious. You just gotta like, your brain literally just turns off, and you turn into the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh halfway through, and you're just like laughing when I know you're like no, seriously, like I was reading it in the library, and I was like laughing maniacally, just I think because my brain just broke halfway through. I was like, all right, it clearly did its job, but anyway, let's get back to the Titan.
I've been told my laugh was creepy by more than one person.
Oh wow.
Like your
I know,
regular laugh?
Like that one?
What when I start
not like
laughing,
a chuckle.
No, not my chuckle, like my full blown laugh.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, you'll have to pay attention next time I do it. I can't do it on purpose.
You just
but
have
anyway,
to try really hard to make you crack up.
yeah.
you guys
that's
never
some
seem to have a
serious
problem
jokes.
doing that.
Wow.
Good.
All right, back to the
Right.
Titans. Let's get you
So-
Back to the Titan.
Jason riles Connor up just a bit, just enough for Connor to get a little too annoyed and punch him right in the face. And Jason took it.
Yeah,
face.
and I was like, dude,
Nothing wrong.
how did
And
you
he
do
claimed
that?
that he's been hit harder by Batmite. What a fucking insult.
I know. It was like, dude, you could have broken his jaw.
Yeah. you
Well,
could've,
I mean, his
like, punched
powers
his
are
head off.
very, very, very dampened, right?
Even still.
Yeah.
I mean, enough to break an arm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
Like,
that's
probably.
really
He's got
human
nothing.
level shit there.
Yeah. Now, speaking of weird powers, before they can look into Connor's issue, they get a call from Hawk and Dove as they're having trouble fighting Chuck Brown. And that's right, Snoopy is on the kit now. It's Kite Man. It's Kite Man, which
It's
honestly,
Kite
naming
Man.
him Chuck Brown is just brilliant.
Yeah.
But Kite Man has developed powers of his own, and they're not kite related, which is
Yeah,
just
he's, like,
wild. But I was
mystical
thinking about it
powers.
before we started recording.
White purplish
He's-
energy magic
he's-
shit.
He's floating Dove in the air like she's a kite. So maybe they are kite related. Who knows?
That's a bit of a stretch.
Kite flight. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Honestly, this issue, it's such good art. I think it's a very interesting story. Bonus points for making Kite Man even slightly dangerous.
Mm.
It's an odd lineup that feels like, obviously it's only because of the HBO Max series, but it's a lineup that works. I think
It's-
this
I
this
agree.
team is
It is
interestingly good.
the lineup that I love, using the story mechanics that I would have. And I know I'm probably the only one here who believes it, but it's using the story mechanics and tropes that I would have preferred on the show, which is just a bit more of the lightheartedness that I prefer from the Titans. You know, not as
Yeah.
much angst where it's like,
Oh, it's not
even
angst
feel it.
anymore.
is it really? Is it
Yeah,
fun now?
No,
I'll
it's
believe
not
it when I
fun
see.
now.
Oh,
No,
well, there you go.
it's there's emotion, there's holy fuck, there's sadness, there's a whole bunch of action. But it's not.
I think I'll stick with this. I think I'll stick with this. This is like me literally dipping my toe into the water.
Did you watch season 2, Brandon?
I did not get past season 1. I got to episode 8. and I
Season
was
1
like,
is
I'm done.
very angsty, but season 2 is definitely up the alley of what Josh is talking about.
Yeah, and then season 3 just it goes all the way in, man. There's shit in there that I never saw coming, and I'm still trying to process it from like 4 episodes ago.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
I
I
can't wait to
won't.
start season 3. Do you
mm.
hear that, DC Universe? We can't wait to start season 3.
Oh, really? They can't hear you in Canada. Gotcha. No, this was pretty fun, I think. I don't know. How did you guys feel?
I really enjoyed it. This is an
Yeah.
8.75 out of 10 for me.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
interested. I'm sold.
I gave this a 7.5 because I mean it is enjoyable, but in the grand scheme of things, it is kind of, I don't know, unnecessary. I mean, it's a lot of fun its own way. It does have really nice artwork, um, but it just feels a little, I don't know. It's gonna sound mean, but it feels a little irrelevant in that it just doesn't have any larger importance, which I know not every book necessarily has to, but I feel like with the Titans, you might need something like that. But I mean, I could still come back to it every month and enjoy it. And the artwork certainly does a really great job. I thought the colors were great in this too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Now, we
But
do know that this is a limited run. They had a pretty action packed first issue going on here. Something has to continue with the story, whether that guy did survive or there's other people that are going to start having the same thing going on with them. Something's going to happen with the story. I haven't seen anything like this at all on the Titans show, but I am looking forward to reading this. I did like it a lot. The art is great. Obviously, it's not tied to the main story, but it is very interesting nonetheless. I'll be reading this one until it's done, unless it turns into shit. Right now, it's not. Lots of fun, cool
Yeah.
story. 8.75 out of 10, man.
yeah, I say I don't know. I say we give it one more for me at least, or I may give it one more, and then I'll think about maybe putting this one in the dump list. It's not bad by any means. It's just,
Yeah,
is it one that we should be prioritizing? Maybe not, but even if that's the case, even if we're not, covering it in detail, we can still have a lot of fun with it because, like you said, it's only a limited run and it's not too time consuming or anything.
right, right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as we start picking up some more of the new releases, just gonna have to probably weigh this versus some of the others and determine whether or not we keep this one going.
Oh yeah, there's lots of books coming our way too, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
All right, let's get through half of one.
half of one. Oh, oh,
Uh-oh.
right. Yes, Justice League Dark, the summary that I did not write.
Oh
Oops.
no.
um, because I had it in my script that I was going to mention it during the news, but we were talking about so much other random crap, I literally forgot about it. Um, just okay. Yeah. Let me be fair. Justice League Dark is brought to us by the usual suspects of Rom V, with art from Sumit Kumar, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Rob Lee. Because I am a fool and I did not type this out, um, I'll just give you a very quick summary because I mean, really, there's a lot going on, but it's a backup. It's not too much. Basically, continues the ever evolving Atlantis story. Really bringing a lot of interesting things to a head. Aquaman, I think, finally enters the scene in a big dramatic way and is aiding the JLD in particular. Constantine faces off against Merlin and seemingly looks like he's got himself beat, only to see Zatanna come to the rescue, but uh-oh, something isn't right. Um, yeah, it's continuing the story. It feels, I don't know, just a little weird to. I mean, we've been doing it for a while now, so I guess it's not that weird, but it does feel a little weird to just literally only read the back half of this book
I mean,
for
I'm
a
still reading the
while.
whole issue. I just get mad at the first 2/3 of it.
Uh,
Then you get JLD's
yeah,
palate cleanser, so it helps.
yeah. Well,
Right?
I don't. I wish it was not connected to this,
Me too.
the
Me too.
rest of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
that's how
no,
it is.
the art is so good. The colors are damn perfect.
Yeah.
I
So I
mean,
was
holy
really,
cow.
I was really only going to mention this one. I wasn't even going to score it. Like it's good. It's really good. It just this whole thing, this whole situation is just weird because I don't even know how to promote it. Like I can't say, "Oh, run to your store and pick it up," because that would sort of require you to get the rest of it, and I don't really want you to do that.
All right,
That
so
means that the
so
story
I
continues.
I
So,
I have devised a plan, Brandon.
okay.
All right. Like we said, the art is good, the color's amazing. The story
Mhm.
is it's really good. I'm very interested in it. At about a third of the book, it remains the only reason to buy this book, which is why you should go out and buy this book. Take pictures of yourself with it. Put it on Twitter, tagging at DC Comics and at
Yeah, that'll work.
notarobotcomics, and say I bought this for JLD.
Oh my God.
That way they know
Yeah.
why you're buying it.
Yeah.
It is a
Actually,
good story, and I have a
I
feeling it feels like we're coming to a culmination. It feels like the
I
art's
do, yeah, I do have another thing that may work. Probably not, but you can try it. They are, I believe, wrapping up the story in the 2021 Part 6, Chapter 4 annual in November or December, I believe. So
I'm
it should
sorry, is
be
that a
our duty.
bylaw?
Yeah, is that a bylaw? Is that a subsection? No, let me push up my glasses. Um, so maybe it would be in our best interest to just see that the annual does really well. And obviously, it's only one issue, so there's only so much you can do. But if there is a consensus that, wow, we really wish that this could be its own thing, obviously, there's no guarantees, but maybe people will start to take heed. Maybe that's something that they could potentially do in January. Doubt it, but hey, it can't hurt. Um, but I don't like. It sounds mean to say. I guess that's my secret Canadianness showing, but I don't like saying go out and support this book. It's a lie. I don't want you to do that.
I don't want you to
I
support the
don't.
first 2/3 of this, but the
I know,
last
but
third is really good. And
if
you
I
know
could,
what? Social movement through social media. Tag them, let them know you're supporting Ram V and not the silliness, weird shit of the.
yeah.
I mean, I swear to God, guys. Oh my God, I'm not even going to go on again. But it felt like I was watching a new Hasbro commercial for a new line of toys. Or Mattel, maybe, whatever.
And I literally just said try and be more optimistic, but I don't like buying this book.
I
It
did. I
doesn't make me
know.
happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Like it's upsetting that I have to slog my way through the. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to go on about it, but the point is like
Yeah,
I don't even know what to say. So
send me a selfie with the book, and we'll put it up on our Twitter.
sure. But yeah, I didn't score it. I guess I can score it by saying it's good. That's it, really. I don't have anything else. I don't want to say like, oh, this is amazing. Run while you can and pick it up.
Well,
'Cause
I feel like
don't.
we're getting close to a good ending to this story. I hope that we will get to see Ram V continue with JLD after this story arc is finished, hopefully in its own book. I like the way that it seems to be wrapping up, but it might not be, though. We don't know. So I guess
Maybe,
just read, wait,
uh,
and see.
yeah, I'm thinking like there has to be some. I don't want to harp on this too much because I want to get to our next book, which is enjoyable. But maybe there's some kind of way you can reshape the JLD into a new book that is not called JLD, but can bring in new people. Like back in '06, I think it was, like right after, or it might have been right before Infinite Crisis, they had a book called Shadow Pact, which is
Yeah.
basically the
Yeah.
pre-JLD. And
Exactly.
so I'm just thinking like just do something like that, right? Where you can have that style of book, but maybe it's not JLD and it can sell a little better. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Sure, you can figure it out. But just please, something that is not hitched to the ass end of this book because it
Yeah.
doesn't make me happy.
See, switching the title of it and maybe changing a few of the characters sounds like a good idea to me at first, and then when I sit there and think about it, is it going to do anything for the sales?
I don't know.
There's Justice League Dark fans, and it's completely possible that some would drop off if it turned into Shadow Pact. Then there's a chance that the very first issue is going to sell really good, but that's only because it's going to be a number one.
Yeah, I don't know. You need something that's a little bit more to solidify it as a good seller. Maybe bringing in a popular artist or other writer or something. I don't know, but there
I
has to
mean,
be some other
I
solution.
think the creative team is great. I think that it should
Oh,
be.
they're very well. Yeah, they're very very good.
We're
But you
getting we're
know,
getting Swamp Thing woven into a pocket of the DC universe, and I think that what we really need to do is get Justice League Dark to work together in a couple of the other titles. Obviously, Wonder Woman is an excellent choice now that she should be part of the team, but that they should be together in maybe a same storyline. And there's other characters that would work just as good. Doctor Fate being a great one. If we had a Doctor Fate type story involving Justice League Dark, I think that could be really good.
yeah, yeah. There is a solution out there in the multiverse. I don't know what it is, but
It'll
it's
happen,
there,
or it
and
already has happened,
or
or it's
maybe
happening right now.
yeah, yeah. Let us hope that we are occupying that world that finds the solution, and soon. But we've wasted enough time on this. Let's move on to the next one, which is a bit of a darker twist, but
A darker twist, you say?
that was not what I meant. But that's all gonna get edited out, I'm sure. So, wait, I don't even remember. Oh, darker twist.
Yeah. A darker
That just kind of
twist, you
threw me off
say?
guard. Yes, with Joker number 7, with a main story from Rob, and or is that switched? Am I looking at an outdated version?
Nope, yeah, Rob.
Okay, yeah, main story from Rob, back up from Punchline. Take it away
All right.
while I comport myself.
Okay, so this is from writer James Tiny Onion the Fourth,
Tiny Onion.
with art by Guillaume March, colors from Arif Prianto, and letters from Tom Napolitano. Un segundo, messieurs.
No drink
Dry
for
mouth
you.
is horrible, horrible time when you're speaking. So prologue time. We're in Santa Prisca at the famous Peña Duro prison in which Bane spent his childhood. A hooded woman is on tour about a business opportunity to turn that prison into a themed attraction. That theme obviously being Bane. Midway through, her phone goes off, which surprises the tour guides with guns, as they thought they confiscated her phone. She answers it to find it's Barbara Gordon looking to have eyes in Santa Prisca. Just
Oops.
surprise, she's already there. This causes the hooded woman to start running while being shot at, and eventually gets cornered but fires a quick draw pistol out of her sleeve. She agrees to help Barbara as long as Batman has no clue who she is and no clue that she's involved, as her father's death is on his hands. Enter Julia Pennyworth.
Dun dun
Oh yeah,
dun.
out of
That-
limbo and back into the spotlight.
Great
Right.
prologue. So now back in Gotham, and I am kind of jumping around in this issue right now. Back in Gotham at the clock tower, Barb and Steph are making. What? I think I'm missing a word here. Back in Gotham at the clock tower.
I think you're missing describing Julia Pennyworth.
Yeah,
She's kick ass, man.
she is.
No,
She really is. Yeah.
I know she was in Batman Eternal, but did she do something with Batwoman?
She was in the Batwoman book.
She was in
for,
the Batwoman book.
yeah, good chunk of that run.
All right, okay.
That
Yeah,
was
so
really
basically she's mad at Alfred for abandoning her. She's mad at Alfred because he's a butler. She hates the Bat family. And
she did.
she's mad at Bruce Wayne now, or she's mad at the Bat family now for letting Alfred die.
Yeah, well, she did, and then she kind of made her peace, and then was basically serving
Ish.
as yes, mostly basically serving as Bruce's number two, as I remember towards the back end of Snyder's Batman run, and then was working pretty closely with Batwoman, and then just kind of faded away because I think people just sort of forgot she existed, but she's back, so
I
that's
know
cool.
I did.
The bats often forget Batwoman exists. I mean, she doesn't really work with them very often. So I mean, I get that distance there still. She's a cool character. I dig her. I'm glad to see her back, man.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be exciting. And what a book to come back in.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now that I've figured out the word I'm trying to read, back in Gotham at the clock tower, Barbara and Steph are talking over the missions going on when Steph notices Cressida all dressed up with nowhere to go and staring at the camera. Just then, a hidden Talon attacks, but Cass jumps down, puts the beat on him, and which for some reason causes him actual pain, which, again, there's a theme going on here. That shouldn't happen. So over in France, Jim Gordon is being held in an interview room at Interpol. He knows the tactics they're throwing around to get him to talk, but they won't work. Jim's a damn good cop. The chief detective enters, and after
Is that
Jim...
a Harley Quinn joke?
That is a Harley Quinn joke. Every time I see
It went
Jim
over
Gordon...
my head. That was funny though.
No, I fucking love that they got tangent time again. I fucking love that they got Chris Maloney to do the voice for Jim Gordon because he was in Happy like a year earlier, and I swear to God, I cannot stop seeing Nick Sachs as Jim Gordon, and it's so funny because that's basically what they did. I mean, Nick Sachs was like a drunken like slob of a cop, and that's what they turned Jim Gordon into.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna get an imaginary friend.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
A bat might show
up. Yeah.
So just another tangent, just a funny story that my dad told me. So I think it was after the first season of Harley Quinn came out. Christopher Maloney went back to his role on Law and Order, which he'd been away from for years. And his very first episode, I don't know the whole storyline, but he's back. He was just trying to get back in the swing of things. And at one point, he actually says, "I was a damn good cop," and my dad
oh my God,
burst out laughing.
Yes.
That whole line just makes the whole episode. Yeah. Anytime I read Jim Gordon now, I just think he's a damn good cop. I can't unthink it now.
Well, now I just kind of hear his voice. I don't hear the voice from the animated series.
Whatever voice I had before is replaced with Christopher Maloney.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man! So the chief detective enters, and after Jim lays all on the table about how they knew he didn't do it, she lays all back. That is not a euphemism yet. They know it was Joker, but parts of his journey are still suspicious, and as such, they want to aid him in capturing Joker. From what they know so far, Joker is using the network's cloning facilities for human organs, but they don't know why. The two head to dinner to hash out the rest. That's still not a euphemism yet. They talk about costume crime and how much smaller it is in Europe than it is in Gotham, let alone North America. Her division is a special group devoted to dealing with costumed folk that come over from North America, and as such, no one can know about them working together, which Jim figures will be a problem as Vengeance appears. Legendary Bane's daughter.
Dun, dun, dun.
That I think we're still assuming it's Bane's daughter. I don't think that's been confirmed.
I saw
yet.
like some blurb that called her Vengeance daughter of Bane, and I mean, again, that could obviously be I'm her metaphorical daughter, not biological. So I'm not going to take that entirely at face value, but I think it's kind of safe to assume that at this point.
Maybe not a physical daughter, but maybe a test tube daughter.
Yeah, that too, like Damien.
Yeah, just like So this is really good, exciting, very nice twists. I loved it. I'm gonna say right away 9.25 for me. This was easily
Really?
the top book for me.
Wow.
I loved it, but I do when I think about how much I'm enjoying the story, I do worry for when this story is over, because if this is an ongoing, this is going to be a hard act to follow.
Yeah, well, this issue in particular, and maybe it's just me, but as exciting as it was to see Julia Pennyworth and a lot of the detective stuff come to fruition, it was a little, I don't know, it was a little slow for me. A lot of the gym stuff just kind of missed. I thought
Really?
the stuff with Cass and Babs and Steph still investigating the mystery of Cressida. That stuff is great. Love that. Honestly, I kind of would have preferred that take the focus, but
Hey,
gym meeting,
speaking of Spoiler and Babs, dude, that glow of the green on Spoiler's suit when she's standing behind Oracle's computer
amazing,
screens.
right?
Oh
Hmm.
my god, so cool.
Yeah, and
Looks
I love when Steph shows up and everything. I'm
Yeah.
such a sucker for Stephanie Brown. So
yeah.
every time she shows up cracking jokes, I'm like, there she is. But um, no,
I hate Babs bangs though.
damn.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I'm not going to unsee those now.
yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
I know, right? So,
yeah.
this because she is obviously Oracle, she's jacked into her computer systems and everything. This obviously takes place before the current Batman arcs, or is this some kind of Elseworld story? Has there been any mention from Barbara about her dad taking off outside of this book?
What do you mean?
I mean, outside in any of the other Batman books that Barbara Gordon has appeared in, has she brought up the fact that her dad is off trying to hunt the Joker?
Oh no, because
Oh.
she mentioned in the I think the second issue that she was keeping it secret. She wasn't telling anyone else besides Batman. And obviously they're not gonna they can't really mention it in that book because he's busy with Fear State. But I don't think anyone else knows because she was pretty adamant about I'm not really going to tell anyone unless you or until you get to the point where you have to make up your mind about whether or not you're actually going to kill him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, at dinner with Jim Gordon and what's her name?
I don't
That's
remember her actual name, but
Uh,
Mistress Hollow or
yeah, I just remember
something
something
Halloween.
Halloween.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Madam
Madam
Halloween.
Madam
Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
He said he doesn't see teenage bird ninjas fighting clowns. That shit, oh my god, I lost it. That shit
Yeah.
was hilarious.
That's pretty
Teenage
funny.
bird ninjas.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought that was fantastic,
That was
dude.
Yeah,
good.
but other than that, I don't know. It was just I think it was just a little slow for me. I mean, honestly, it didn't really feel like that much progression. We got more information, but it
Yeah.
was mostly just Jim's in the interrogation. They have dinner, and then Vengeance shows up, and that's why it was more like the stuff with the court and Babs and the Batgirls felt more like it was progressing towards something, whereas the Jim stuff is it feels like it has stalled ever since they've left South America. So this one got a 7.5 for me. It was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I gave it
It was just one big conversation. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like I said, that was just me. Like I think the pacing for me just felt slower than I would have liked.
see, I thought that I liked this one because obviously the art is great, but I felt like the story picked up a bit too. I'm not sure how many issues are left in this. That's the thing that's got me because I this obviously can't draw out forever. But I did like it. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
All right, well, you can feel free to go into the next one. I'm not. I don't have
Ah,
to give you a big transition.
all right. Well,
Let's
then
just get into
I
it.
go. I will. I'll damn well do that. Then you can't
Hell
stop
yeah,
me. How about that?
yeah. Charge on ahead, my friend.
All right. In the backup of Punchline, we got a story written by Sam Johns and James Tiny Onion the fourth, with all the art from Sweeney Boo, and it looks Sweeney Boo-tastic, with lettering from Ariana Mar.
Should get
So
that on a T-shirt.
Sweeney
Sweeney
Boo-tastic,
Yeah.
hell yes,
Yeah.
Sweeney Boo-tastic. Rob, you need to put that up on Twitter. And so in this issue, Punchline and Co. are looking for Harper Row, who happens, well, I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did, who happens to be looking for Kelly Ness, the only person who knows enough about Punchline to put her away. So in the story, Punchline is calling Orca's loyalty into question, and so Orca smashes a locker so hard that it powders the concrete behind it to show Punchline that she'll do whatever. I, however, have a sneaking suspicion that she knew Harper was hiding there and gave her a way to get out. So anyway, that's what Harper does. And she goes and gets some food, a phone, and some supplies. I'm not sure what she was supposed to be picking up in the laundry room, though. But anyway, she finally stumbles onto Kelly Ness, who says she's not strong enough to help anyone and that Harper needs to leave before Punchline finds and kills them both. And then there's a knock on the door. We switch over to Cullen. He's with his boyfriend, and he sees a tattoo of cards on his side. He freaks out about it being a Joker gang thing, only to find out that his boyfriend is a member of the Royal Flush Gang. And Cullen wants to hear more.
Oh, Cullen. What are you doing, kid?
I know. And you know what? Get a better boyfriend, dude, because I can't remember this guy's name to save my fucking life.
Oh, but, Josh, come on. Haven't you ever dated someone who was part of an international crime family? That's happened once or twice, right?
I plead the fifth.
There you go.
It's for me, this one's getting pretty interesting, man. The art looks fantastic. I could probably gush about Sweeney Boo, man. This looks great. I look forward to seeing them on more stuff for sure. But I don't think that this story can go on too much longer, but it's good while it's here. I enjoy the shit out of it, man. I gave this one an 8.25 out of 10. I like this better than the Joker.
I did too, actually. I this chapter really got me interested, especially with Harper Row really getting into some dirty hands-on work and really trying to get into the mystery of this stuff and just
acting like Bluebird. That's when we
hell yeah, acting like a hero. And just that whole sequence of her going through the vents and everything was, I mean, that's fucking great art right there. So
hell yeah, it was the whole thing, man. The whole thing.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. So yeah, I really dug this chapter and has me excited for what's coming next. I'm hoping next month is pretty good. So I gave this one actually an 8.5. Really dug it.
Pretty good. I think the whole book deserves to get rounded up a bit. So my whole grade overall is going to be 8.25. 8 for the Joker, 8.25 for Punchline. But Rob hasn't given his grades yet.
Yeah, that Punchline I'm giving an 8 out of 10. It's definitely interesting. And maybe it's just the juxtaposition with the main story. I still don't find it as interesting as the main Joker story, but maybe I'm just punchlined out as people were kind of over Batman Who Laughs. I'm kind of over Punchline. I don't know. I'm more into Bluebird and Cullen right now, and I feel for Cullen. That sucks. Like, at least it's better.
Have you lost loved ones to costumed street gangs?
We don't have it here, but I'll also plead the fifth.
Oh, God. I would love to see what a costume street gang in Canada would look like. Actually, wait, no, that's probably just after hockey games or something.
Oh, you have no idea how accurate that is, my friend.
Sure.
It would look like Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was picturing a roaming, I guess, gang of just plaid clad people.
Yeah.
Just spouting a boot.
Yeah, no, I'm getting the hell out of there.
Country bumpkin versions of Excalibur. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's it for Punchline, man.
All right.
All over. I think I'll give the whole book a 9.
Yeah, whole book 8 out of 10 for me, which I think is pretty fair.
Fair enough.
Before we get into the next one, I just want to do a little news break because I did open Twitter and I got a blurb of something That's
a bad idea. He's allergic to Twitter.
Save my life. Yeah, no, that should save my life.
Like, I can't go to any restaurants because I, might get exposed to peanuts. Brandon's the same way. Like, he barely gets on the internet. If he sees a link to Twitter, he breaks out in a rash.
Yeah, it literally gives me hives.
What would that be called?
Twitter phobia?
Tweet rash, I guess. I don't know.
Tweet rash.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, apparently it was announced back in July, and I don't know how, but it has gone way out of my news feed for the past 2 months. Did you guys know Injustice 3 was happening?
No.
The video game?
The
or
video
a
game.
movie? Or no, I did not know that.
I knew that. I know that there's a movie coming out.
Well,
yeah,
we got a trailer for that. We should have mentioned that earlier. I've not watched the trailer yet, but it looks interesting. The stills I've seen.
Really?
But yeah, the video game is getting a third installment.
That's so cool.
It is very cool. And the news that kind of struck my chord is there's a potential subtitle leak where the first one was called Injustice Gods Among Us, but Injustice 2 dropped that. It was just Injustice 2. This one, potentially, Gods Will Fall.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't remember if I finished Injustice 2 or not, so I don't remember if Superman is still evil, but...
I won't.
Yeah, I never played Injustice 2, actually.
Did you ever play the first one?
I did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like it. I can sit there and play Mortal Kombat games until I get through the story. Mortal Kombat 11. Oh my god, it's done really, really well. But it's so annoying to grind through Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely wasn't playing for the story. I was just like, I just want to play a dumb fighting game.
I want to kick the shit out of Green Lantern as Nightwing.
There's no deeper feeling.
Settle down, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can live out your darkest fantasies.
I think he just threatened the Canadian.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, that Green Lantern's Hal Jordan, not Kyle Rayner.
I mean, I never read the tie-in that they had, but I know he got killed in like the first story or something.
A lot of people die, man. A lot of people die.
So did Dick Grayson. Take that in.
Yeah, I know.
Nightwing fans.
Well, I just saw like all the jokes about it because he fell on a rock.
Yeah, that
and
was the most
snapped his
bullshit
neck.
way to be killed.
How does that even happen?
Damn you, Tom Taylor. That was so good.
How can you call yourself an acrobat and fall on a rock and break your neck and die? That sounds cold, but I mean,
your neck should just bounce off the rock and land perfectly.
It's the shit you never see coming that kills an acrobat.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Like rope snapping and getting shot out of the sky.
Shitty astronaut. Shitty acrobat.
They are shitty astronauts too.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
As far as we know, we'll never know. But you think an acrobat would make a very good astronaut?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Amazon doesn't make a very good astronaut.
Okay, well that was
because it looks like a penis. I was waiting for somebody to say it. Nobody said it, so I had to.
I keep forgetting that the rocket's shaped that way because I still in my mind is thinking there's no way Austin Powers is real.
Exactly right. Yeah. Oh God! Now just picture Jeff Bezos with his finger up to his mouth.
The man is Doctor. If he's not Lex Luthor, he's Doctor Evil.
I feel like he wants to be like the cool version of Lex Luthor, but he's like the comical version of Lex Luthor.
Right.
He's the one that stole 40 takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Wow. Okay, that was a detour. I think we took a left turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Am I the only one old enough to get that joke?
Oh, no,
I didn't even hear what you said.
I said I think we took a left turn in Albuquerque.
Oh.
Yeah, Brandon's too young to get that.
I don't know.
It's from Looney Tunes, man.
Looney Tunes, man.
I'm sorry.
Bugs Bunny.
Not
back.
Not an elderly man. Oh,
so
sorry, guys.
Damn.
No, let's
beat you with my ARP card.
Shit. Chase me with your cane, old man.
Hey,
No.
shut up, dude. I do use the
of,
cane.
hey, no, canes are cool as hell, man. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I should be so lucky to have a cane, but I feel like you can make it
I mean,
cool.
anybody can buy one.
Yeah. No, let's speaking of old people, let's get into our next book, which is Justice League
Ouch.
Last Ride, featuring our elderly, soon-to-be deceased members of the Justice League.
That's so dark.
Excuse me, I had to take a sip of water for a second. Brought to us by writing from Chip Zdarsky, art from Miguel Mendonça, colors from Erika Angelini, and letters from And World Design. This is, I would say, more of a middle-of-the-road chapter, or at least that was the sense that I got, that focused mostly on the Justice League's current occupations on Warworld as an advance of manhunters led by a cyborg Superman Brainiac hybrid are hoping to stop the League from protecting Lobo during their current stay in, they call it, what was it, Darkseid Summer Home? Or no, Desaad Summer Home, that was it. Filled with crazy traps and other things that are meant to deter even the most brave-hearted of people. Meanwhile, in space, Jon Stewart and Wonder Woman are hoping to hold off Mongol and are facing little success, but are fortunately able to take off Mongol, only to reveal that someone actually sent him here, revealing the location of Lobo. Meaning that, oh no, excuse me, no, not revealing the location of Lobo, but revealing that the planet Apocalypse is currently deserted and ripe for the taking, to which Mongol is happy to take on that challenge. But that in and of itself reveals a deeper conspiracy at work, which is that someone is actually directing these people who are currently staging their attack on Apocalypse. We take a brief detour to give us a bit of a flashback to how the Owen power battery actually exploded during that time, and also get a scene that frustrated me to no end, which I bitched and moaned about on the Slack channel that we have, which was a scene in which Superman arrives on Apocalypse to tell off Batman in a fury. A very well done scene, but I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy. The guy who pushes up his glasses and has a pocket protector and is like, actually, excuse me. It's like, I hate being that guy so much, but I have to say it.
Do you have a hall pass?
I know. I have to say it the millionth time. You cannot fly to Apocalypse. There's not a planet that exists in the solar system where you can just soar to it like Mars.
Nah, son. Fourth world.
According to the rules that you gave me, all right, I'm just breaking it down as you told me. The only way you can travel there is with a mother box to open a boom tube. That's what you said, all right? And I took it at face value. I said, all right, fine. I don't know what a boom tube is, but I guess that's what you need to actually go there. And those were the physics that you gave me. But here we see Superman developing the new power of trans-dimensional travel and just flying there with no problems at all. It was just, I don't know. It's a little, like, I don't care that much. Sounds like I care a lot. But I don't, but it was just a little bit annoying. But anyway.
There's some advantages to getting old.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, people accept it if you're crankier.
I feel like that'd be nice. I just pop off at people whenever I want, and I can use the excuse that I'm old. And it's just how I am now.
You see how white this beard is, man?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea the last time somebody asked me for my ID when I tried to buy beer?
There you go. Yeah. No, if you guys could see him, I mean, if you go to the Not a Robot podcast website and check out the host page, you can see a picture. But if you guys see Josh, I'm telling you, he would make an excellent Ted Grant Wildcat. Seriously, like, he's got the white stubble and everything. All he needs is the cat suit. I keep telling you that. But seriously, like, you would be perfect for it.
I'm still tossing that around. I have a Deathstroke costume.
That would be good too.
Yeah, I have a Deathstroke costume, but see, the thing is that I have to go with a cane. So I would have
Yeah.
to do like an old, beat up Wildcat, or or I guess.
No, but I feel like that's even more intimidating because I mean, you just know an older Wildcat still would be able to kick your ass.
Yep, he kicks Batman's ass in that one. Oh, I can't remember what the story was, but all the heroes got together and Batman, and it's something that they do on a yearly basis. Batman and Wildcat box, and Batman's never beaten Wildcat. I can't remember what the hell it was in though.
Yeah, I can't remember that one either, but
Yeah,
that's
sounds good.
like, I feel like if I saw Wildcat with a cane, I still wouldn't want to fuck with them.
I think it's
I
in
know I'd still
Detective
get my
150.
ass beat. Maybe? I don't remember. Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
um, big resolution of Last Ride is that the Owen Power Battery is finally uh, seemingly destroyed by Darkseid, who somehow is able to suck in all the power, but triggers an explosion that may or may not have killed him, but we shall see. But yeah, this was a solid chapter. I would probably say, and this one was definitely hard for me, probably the weakest art I've seen so far. There are some gorgeous panels, there really are, but there were some ones that did feel, at least in my opinion, a little bit rushed. There's one where it's literally just Batman and Superman standing apart from each other, and they look exactly the same. Um, which was a little off-putting because it felt like you just traced two models and put them together. And I know they look kind of similar, but that was a little just felt a little lackluster. So I ended up giving this one an 8 out of 10. It was still a really solid chapter overall, and I'm still really invested in the story. But I think the art kind of took a little bit of a downturn in some places for me, and that was a little disappointing.
What did you think about that, Rob?
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say that I thought the art was great throughout. I thought it was beautiful to look at, and yeah, I don't know. For me, that this may be the last ride, but it's a really good ride. I'm
It's a
loving the
fun
hell out of
ride.
this.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of like 50-50 between the both of you then. Like Mendonça in the house, dude. I mean, I there were some panels that were kind of iffy, but overall I thought it was really good. However, and I don't know how I don't know how you two are going to feel about this or any listeners out there, but I feel like when you put that cover next to the interior art, Mendonça really, what's the right way to say that? Derek Robertson kind of pales in
Kind of be.
comparison.
Are you saying Mendoza pales or
No, I'm
Derek
saying Derek
Robertson?
Robertson pales.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I like Mendonca's interior art more than I like that cover, and I know that's weird to hear somebody say, but
Yeah,
it's
it's definitely
definitely
a
true
little
for me.
weird.
Now, hey, inside the story, uh, maybe you already said it. Blame my memory, but was that a bunch of dark sides in those growing chambers?
That looked like it.
Yeah. And my guess was it was like a bunch of backups, like in I don't know, I'm thinking of this like in Rise of Skywalker. You
Right.
remember that?
Oh,
Like a bunch of Snokes floating in a jar.
oh
I mean, that
man.
makes sense. So,
Yeah.
but so it seemed like he was in two places at once at one point. So, I mean, I'm not even sure that it's just backups. It might be an almost shared consciousness kind of thing that's going on here. And I think that if that's the case, I think that's a cool idea, but it turns the story kind of really generic flavored.
Hmm.
I didn't like this one at all. Like pretty much, it was okay, but it ran completely flat for me
In terms of story
in
or
terms of story. And I mean, which
oh,
I compared to the rest of the books that have been a part of this arc, this writing wise, it felt like Zdarsky just kind of mailed it in. and
Yeah,
it felt stale to me.
it was a little bit of a middle of the road chapter, and at first I wasn't even sure if that was on me or on the actual issue, because full disclosure, I read this while walking to class, so it was literally just like a 10-minute walk. I was just like breezing through it, like scrolling on my phone, but um, yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a huge problem with the pacing, but I definitely hear what you're saying, and that it was a bit of a, I don't know.
Yeah, even
Filler's not the right word,
no,
but
not
I mean,
filler.
maybe
It
it
just
was for
felt kind
you.
of drab. It kind of felt boring. Like the even the dialogue just felt a little generic. You know, I mean, it was kind of just like, I don't know, a neutral issue.
Yeah,
Nothing really caught for me. It just sat there and spun, man. But
yeah, no, that's how it is sometimes.
I enjoyed Mendonça like crazy, and because of that, I gave it a 6.75 out of 10.
Oof, tough break this week, but hey, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.75. I really enjoyed it.
I
but
guess
but
I guess
I'm
I'm
also
between you
like
two.
I I come to you with a theory though.
A theory.
That do
Do
we
tell.
is there one issue left or did they increase the number on it, didn't they?
Is two. We
Two
we
issue. Okay.
thought it was eight for a time, but it's seven.
Okay.
We weren't sure if it was seven or eight, but then they put out the solicit for the seventh one, and they were like, "This is the end of the story," and you're like, "Okay, got it."
Got it.
Right. Okay, so I can kind of guess by how Jordan's like out his uniform that he's pretty much got the power of the battery
Mm.
in him.
I've
But
got the power.
so I just noticed something from a lantern standpoint that I found interesting. That when John and Diana were fighting Mongol's like, "Oh, a Green Lantern, you're weak to yellow," and he takes off his glove because it's yellow. But I thought
Mm.
that's odd because that hasn't been a thing for over 10 years now.
Right.
Yeah, not since Rebirth.
Yeah, hell, like 15 years now.
Yeah, but
And then
Yeah.
at the
this is
end,
very obviously alternate kind of fucking universe stuff going on here.
Well, it doesn't even
it
seem to
is.
stop him. Like he says you're weak to yellow, and then he just kind of
Yeah.
keeps on doing constructs.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
it's just his
that's
hand, right? He can attack the rest of the body. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He just
that
can't
right
affect
there.
the
I
hand.
remember that scene. I can't remember the exact words, but I mean that was a good example of how I felt like the book was generic. Like, I mean,
Mm.
if I'm not
What?
mistaken, it's like you're weak to yellow, but by the power of willpower. I mean,
Well, it was. That's why I was just like, it didn't really make sense because he says that, and then literally the next scene is John making a bunch of drill constructs, seemingly
right?
with no
Yeah.
problem.
Be like, oh yeah, bitch.
Yeah, clearly you can still do it.
Yeah.
But
So that whole thing about being wheat to yellow, I think that was very deliberate, and that could seem like an oversight, but I think that was a very deliberate line to showcase where they are as the core.
Right.
And if you remember in Rebirth, the whole reason that the yellow impurity was there was because Parallax was inside the central battery.
yeah,
So if the central battery is now exploded and Darkseid has absorbed all the power of the central battery, we might get Parallax Darkseid in the next fucking issue.
whoa,
We could,
that'd be
or
interesting.
Yeah.
it was
And
more
maybe
like
that's why this issue's so dry.
that's very well possible. Parallax Dark Side. Holy shit.
Like he doesn't seem to be around in the present, so something must have happened.
And then maybe that's how, the league, because I still feel like we're heading to a point where they're all gonna die. I mean, Josh mentioned that at the first or second issue, and I didn't really see it at first, but now, after a couple more, it definitely feels like that's where we're heading. But
Yeah,
I wonder if that's how.
most, if not all.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how they're gonna do it. Facing off against something as impossible as that, they all kind of sacrifice themselves.
Right. I have a theory about the whole Mongol thing, though. That was more like, no, we it's yellow, man. You're more of a marigold. I thought,
Yeah, you're like a sunflower.
I
Right.
didn't realize that the rings could be so picky.
Right? Well, yeah, of
God.
course. There's, I mean, they exist all across the spectrum, right? So, I mean, if you're
So
yellow,
what you're
you're
s-
yellow. Damn it, you're not.
So
Yeah.
what you're
You're
saying
not
is different
sunflower.
shades of yellow don't count.
Exactly. You're not mustard.
Oh, okay.
I'm running out of yellow names, man.
Canary yellow
Canary
doesn't
yellow.
work.
Yeah.
Amber, that doesn't work.
Well, canary
Pineapple
yellow,
doesn't work.
yellow's in the title. Canary yellow can work.
Does it though? Because it does have canary first. So I mean, it's basically different.
Right. Well, unless
Yeah.
you translate it into French, I'm sure if you do
Yeah.
that, it's probably yellow of canary.
Yeah. So if you spill Dijon mustard on a lantern, can he still use his ring?
Well, yeah, because
I
that's
mean, that's
not
more
yellow. That's like
brown.
kind of got grayish stuff
So
going on
it's-
too.
I mean,
Of course I can.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was it for last ride, yeah?
yes, sir.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now, back to our program.
Yeah. All right. On to our next book. And that is Superman and the Authority, and number 3, penultimate issue. Take it away, Rob. I'm mad because you stole this one from me, but take it away anyway.
I mean, you can have it now. Like I'll give it up. Go ahead. You can go.
No, I'm too, as you told me, I'm too nice for that.
Too
So
nice.
you
You're
can,
so
you can have
Canadian, Brandon.
it.
Okay, yeah, and it feels weird that number 3 is the penultimate issue. It's been such a short series, but it's been a ride. So this is from the master of the ride, Grant Morrison, on writing duties.
Oh.
Batman of Zur-En-Arrh himself.
Angelic choir.
With art by Mikhail Yanin and Travel Foreman, with colors from Jordi Belair and Alex Sinclair, with Steve Wands on letters. So June Moon has been saved by Desamore after some quick thinking on Superman's part, tricking the old god into second-guessing his plan and getting Manchester Black to get into June's mind and convince her to just let go. This results in her and the Enchantress becoming one. With this new powerhouse on the team, Superman reveals the next part of his plan, rescuing Leah Nelson, aka Light Ray. He gives the team their respective missions while he stays behind his bait, and this bait plan slightly backfires as Ultra Humanite, now in the body of Solomon Grundy, has infiltrated Fort Superman and puts the beat on him, then knocking him out with the plan to put his own brain inside Superman's body.
Like
The
that
rest of the
plan's ever worked before.
Right.
Gotta
The
say,
rest of the team are...
Ultra Humanite inside of Solomon Grundy's body, though. That's a really cool idea.
It
Oh,
is,
yeah.
Not a combo I would see coming.
No.
No.
But he's not really Ultra Humanite, and he's more of this Ultra Zombie Knight.
Yeah, he's Grundy Knight.
Grundy Knight. Yeah. So, where the hell am I? Alright, so the rest of the team are not faring much better, it seems. Apollo and June were tasked with getting to Leah before it was too late, as she was about ready to use a shotgun where a shotgun should not be used. Before they can arrive, Eclipso gets to her and drags her into the dark unknown, wherever Eclipso resides. Midnighter, Manchester, and Natasha arrive in Dubai to stop an army of Ultra Zombie Knight-powered robots. After debating on a team name, Manchester declares them the Authority, but is then attacked by a group claiming to be the real Authority. What a twist.
What a twist.
I mean, I guess Authority fans might have seen it coming, but I didn't read Authority back in the day, but from what I understand, this is not the Authority lineup that everybody knows.
No, that's definitely a lot more different. But they're
Yeah.
trying. I think they're trying to go for a similar aesthetic.
Who do you know
Although
that's there?
I did think it was funny that he, like, Manchester Black has a little brief, like, line where he mentions that, why can't we call ourselves the Elite? And everyone's like, don't even bring that up. You already know why we can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't go there.
Don't be a dumbass, Manchester.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're not doing that again.
Do you know any members of the new old authority?
The only carryovers from the original at this point are Midnighter and Apollo. As for the like rando ones that show up, those
Yeah,
have no
that's the ones I'm
connection.
talking about. I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
any of them.
none of those have any connection.
All right. Okay. Good.
but-
That makes me feel better about going. I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And I thought this was good, man.
Yeah.
This is my favorite issue.
It
Like,
really-
it was super well plotted, well paced. I love the dynamic with the team. That whole scene where it's literally just them sitting at a round table, just talking about the worlds and everything else. It's just all so well put together.
And you know what else is cool? I don't know if you noticed or not, but Morrison just slips in this Silver Age style dialogue into modern talk and modern settings, like so fluidly. I love it. It makes me giggle sometimes. The way
That's what I love about his Superman. It's this very classic sounding,
without coming across as corny, and that's
Yes,
a
that
very
is
hard line to walk.
exactly
because
what I was gonna say.
corny pisses me off.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like save the day, and it doesn't sound like something that you would read from 60 years ago.
Right.
That
Here
you
we
can
go,
ex-
old chum.
Yeah, that you can excuse because it was 60 years old, so obviously it was from a certain time, but it's
Right.
not like it's not like that. It doesn't sound like that.
No, it's
And
this
it
is done
works.
great, man. I know I'm a Morrison fan, but yeah, hell yeah, this is good.
Yeah, no, I don't know, like for as much as I love it, and for as much as I am enjoying the story and how it all wrap up, it does kind of suck. It's only 4 issues. Like,
Fucking
I feel like
right.
this has a lot of
Fucking right.
I know, like I feel like still has a lot more gas in the tank, and I know they're wrapping this up and wrapping up their stuff with DC, and obviously it's kind of the end of an era, but if you wanted to keep this going, I don't think anyone would complain about that.
Well, I'm thinking that the plan is they need to get Superman's ass to Warworld because they've got quite the story laid out in front of them with that. And they were like, how the fuck do we get Superman to Warworld and make it good?
Yeah.
Like, fucking bring Morrison in. He'll do it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Morrison.
Yeah.
I'll do it in 3 issues.
Was that your Scottish? I thought that was like Spanish for a second.
Oh, God. No, it's horrible. And I'm probably off. But
That wasn't
I can do
Scottish.
drunk
That was a
Scottish.
little better.
I can do drunk
Drunk
Scottish pretty damn good.
Scottish.
But I yell. I don't want to do that to my microphone.
No, it's doing Grant Morrison impressions is like one of my favorite things. It's so fun.
Absolutely, dude.
That sounds really weird. So I doubt they're listening to this, but if by some reason you are, I just want you to know I don't do that like all the time.
Don't be so
It just
self-conscious,
happens.
dude. I mean, come on.
It just happens sometimes.
I'm sure Grant Morrison can speak with an American accent. And the only way he
Ah.
can do that is if he practiced.
I'm sure.
Right? Right.
Well, if I found out Grant Morrison was doing an impression of me, I would probably lose my mind for whatever reason that would be. But anyway, it was just a really well put together thing all around, and I was just really satisfied with it. So I'm
Absolutely,
giving
man.
this one an 8.5. How did you guys feel?
8.75, man. The art is
Nice.
phenomenal and the writing is so good.
Oh
I'm-
yeah. Let me give. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, let me give props to Mikkel. He's really doing a great job.
Yeah, hell yeah. McGill Yanin is easily one of my favorite artists at DC.
Mhm.
I loved when he was on Batman back a while ago, and I mean,
Not the
I really
story,
haven't
though.
seen him on anything
No,
in a
I mean,
while, so I'm really
yeah.
glad to see him back drawing again. Fucking love him, man.
yeah, I mean, he did the 2 issues of Wonder Woman and then kind of pieced out.
Yeah, which bummed me out. But yeah,
Yeah.
this one I gave a solid 8.75.
Awesome.
Loved it.
I'll give an 8.5 for this one. Yeah, wow, I lost my notes. Yeah, I gave an 8.5 for this one. I'm sad that it's only got one more issue, but part of me is thinking that's not necessarily true. There's got to be more coming. Like, this is such a big setup, and then for it to just, I know, I'm still convinced this is an Elseworlds. I know that the idea is that Superman's gonna go off to War World, but like,
Hmm.
this just the whole design of Superman right now makes me
Oh
think this is an
no.
Elseworlds.
Oh no. And we're gonna take another brief detour, um, cause we have to follow up on some news, and that
Uh-huh.
news is, unfortunately, I say unfortunately as if it's like the death of the world, but it's not. The story that we had mentioned earlier about the return of the Legion of Superheroes seems to be coming a little bit earlier than I had anticipated, because just announced, like literally like 30 seconds ago, December will see the release of the Justice League 2021 annual #1, featuring the return of OMAC, a couple of other things, but most importantly, will be the start of an arc called Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes, starting in 2022.
Does it say who's writing it?
You know who's writing it.
Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes is being written
Um,
by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, I mean, at least it has art by Sanford Green, who I really like.
You could
But
say that about every fucking title that he's ever done in
yeah,
DC.
yeah, that's a
honestly,
great
for
cover.
5 seconds, I was in a world where I forgot Bendis was writing Justice League.
Can I make a suggestion real quick?
Yeah,
Can we go ahead and add that to the dump list?
I know. No, we have to at least give it a shot.
I know
'Cause
that's
this is a
the
really,
rule.
this is a really cool cover, but
All right, we'll give it a
sigh.
shot.
All
The
right.
saga of the oh god,
Yeah,
he's going to be
whatever.
writing 2 Lash books.
Didn't they have the whole like Justice League versus the Legion of Doom thing in action? I
Yes.
didn't read it, but I know it was happening, and I
Yep.
was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
The whole concept is insane, but I mean, anyway, I'm not going to start.
Whatever.
You know what I could do, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, well, it had to be said. It had to be said.
It
But
did.
I guess that'll lead us into our last book for this week, which is none other than I Am Batman #1, which we're gonna have to speed through a little bit as we're approaching the 2-hour mark here.
Oh goodness.
So Josh, take it away, my friend. Get us through this one.
All right, I Am Batman #1. Written by John Ridley with art from Olivier Coipel and Alex Sinclair and lettering from ALW's Troy Patiri and a cover from Coipel and Romulo Fiaro Jr.
I'm gonna have to correct you there, just because it is French, so we have to give a little emphasis. It's Olivier Coipel.
That's Coipel. Oh,
Yeah,
because I said
Coipel.
Coipel?
Yeah.
My bad. Coipel.
No, you're totally fine. I've literally said the same thing for I don't even know how long until I was corrected, and then I felt like a yutz for not knowing how to read French names.
Yeah. That's when Mikkel Yanin told me to pronounce it Mikkel Yanin because I was pronouncing it Mikkel Yanin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
that's
I
so
went
sad.
through Twitter and I was like, let me do a pronunciation check, and that's when I felt like Pat Brazo will constantly hit every once in a while. He'll nudge me if we say it wrong.
Oh, dude, you're fine. I literally called him. I called him Mikhail Janin, I think, when I was reading Grayson. So.
Oh well, yeah, okay. They didn't have the little thing on the top. Anyway.
No. Anyway.
Anyway, so we are back. First, let me say the cover is awesome, man. I love the art. I love the way that they did the title. It's super cool. At least pick it up and look at that.
Oh yeah.
The issue starts out with quickly reflecting on how he's hiding the real him from his dad, Lucius Fox. And then it's Batman time. Val, the mysterious dude on the other side of the computer, has outfitted his new bat suit with batons that shoot out of his gauntlet kind of sleeves there, a gas mask, and some really good lightweight armor. He doesn't want tech so he can't be tracked. And he doesn't want grappling guns or smoke grenades or batarangs. His utility belt is literally filled up with burner phones. Gritty Punisher level type stuff here is kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Batman is making his first ride through Gotham on his Batcycle. He was taught to fight people head on, face to face. So that's kind of Batman that we've got here. Not swinging from the rooftops being a myth, a real foot soldier on the ground, and even somewhat visible. So that's a pretty interesting concept, man. I like that. After telling some kids not to tag, spray graffiti, he starts following a joyrider that almost killed somebody. He takes the guy out and doesn't whoop him. He tells the guy to turn himself in while a whole bunch of people are standing around taking cell phones. Totally different kind of Batman. At the end, we see that somebody has killed Anarchy, a somewhat lesser known Batman rogue.
But one that I love.
Absolutely.
Anarchy is awesome.
And I'm like, why did you kill Anarchy?
I know. Or Lonnie Mack. And she'll be back one day, I'm sure.
Right. Right. The art.
Anarchy never dies.
Exactly.
Exactly right. The art in this book is fucking amazing. I enjoyed it so much. It's just amazing.
Olivier Coipel is one of the just most talented pencilers I've ever seen. I mean, his command of light and smoke is literally unlike anything. I don't even know how you do it, but there's, I mean, I'm sure you know exactly which one I'm talking about, but there's a splash page where it's literally just him kind of posed, and there's like smokes all around him. It is, I mean, just drop dead gorgeous. So,
yep.
If you're going to pick up this issue for anything, just pick it up for that art.
Yeah, for sure, because this dude is on the level of Jorge Jimenez. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about how fast he can draw or whatever, but when I see Jimenez draw it, I consider it art. I mean, like, not just, art by, but I mean, that shit is just flat out hang every panel on a wall gorgeous. And I think this Coipel is that same kind of caliber. It's really, really good. So let me ask you guys this. Obviously, this is still not present day. He says Batman hasn't been seen in about 6 years, right? Is that how long he said?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is this then just a future potential with an alternate timeline that we'll never see connected to the main continuity outside of Future State? Or do you think that we'll see Jace actually take over in the main books at some point?
Well, I mean, they're saying that this is, right after Fear State, so...
So Fear State's going to last 6 years?
No, I mean, I think...
This is during Fear State.
Yeah, like this is, like, right after the Alpha issue that we had.
But
yeah, this is even on the checklist and everything. And even if you go back to Second Son, like, that's all connected.
Yeah, but I think people are taking the 6 years thing a little too literally. Like, because from my understanding, that's probably just like a guesstimate. Like, oh, no one's seen him in a long, long time, so you just kind of, BS a number and say 6 years, 8 years, however long. Where, obviously he's probably been seen more. Like, he's, in the Justice League, he's been around.
Well, I mean, okay, so Batman was just, like, literally just announced dead.
Yeah.
Why would he say that he's not been around in 6 years? I mean,
that's my point.
Dramatic.
That's my point. Like, it's supposed to be a very dramatic line of, like, basically the gist of it from what I got was just, he hasn't been, again, from his perspective, this isn't necessarily true, but from Jace's perspective, he hasn't been seen by, seems to be alluding, average people in a very, very long time. Which obviously is a bit contradictory because, if you literally look up in the news, you'll probably see the Justice League alongside, plenty of other superheroes, including Batman.
Right.
Very publicly, but I didn't take it that literally, at least, where he's like, it's been exactly 6 years since he was last seen.
Well, I mean,
not true.
He said, 6 years? So I figure somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5.
No, yeah, it's I doubt it's an actual, like, again, the gist of what he's saying is just hasn't been seen in a while by certain people, which may or may not be true. I don't know. My guess is it's probably just him being dramatic because I remembered that he hasn't been in Gotham City in however long, because he was off doing secret missions in Cambodia and everything. So his perception of the city is obviously going to be a little bit different as an outsider.
That's one. Rob, do you feel the same way Brandon does?
I could see that. I'm looking at it now, and he puts like they put emphasis on 6 years, but the line includes any regular people actually seen him in maybe 6 years.
Yeah, that's more of what I meant.
Yeah, so it's just
Okay.
It's probably again, it's literally just like a saying like, oh, it's been a while since like people in maybe lower parts of the city have seen it.
yeah, and like there's not the first time. There's many times actually. I think even throughout Miriko Tamaki's Detective Comics that just regular citizens have lived in Gotham their whole life and never seen Batman.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, Batman exists as a myth. I mean, yeah, he comes out and fights the big baddies, but still only, at most people see it on the news, and it's not like he's in the habit of not dropping smoke pellets.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's believable, and that makes me like the new spin on this new Batman. It's like Batman completely the opposite, but still really interesting. I'm digging the complexity of Jace Fox and how he's gonna have to hide all of this shit from Lucius. I mean, he's basically working in his dad's basement. Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to see where the rest of this goes. I don't know if I gave my score yet or not, but I gave this an 8.75 out of 10. It's short, but it deserves that.
Yeah, but very, very fluid and very very action packed.
Yeah.
It keeps your attention.
Yep, you don't feel like it was. I mean, what was it, like 16 something pages?
Yeah, probably no more than 20 or so.
Something like that. It was a short book, but you don't feel robbed. I can tell you that much.
No, and certainly not with the art.
Nope.
I'm looking at it right now. It was actually 23 pages.
Oh, was it really? I felt wow.
It does feel a lot shorter.
Yeah, I just blew through that shit then.
It's a sign that it's engaging. I would say.
Wow, I swear to God, dude, I felt like it was like a 15-page, 20-page book tops, man.
Yeah.
23 pages. That's crazy. Wow, it did not feel like that. So yeah, good damn book, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it's developing. I think I like the idea of it. Probably a little bit more than some of the direction. Like I find the idea of someone taking a symbol like the bat and trying to turn it into something new. That's a fascinating idea.
Turning it into hope instead of fear.
Yeah, or even just saying like, hey, this symbol has power. Let me see what I could do with it. Like I'm maybe not trying to usurp it, but it's like there's a story going on right now called The United States of Captain America over at Marvel, and it's basically doing the same thing where it's like, what if you had a bunch of kids across the country who had fake shields and makeshift Cap costumes and basically said, I'm not trying to usurp you, I'm just trying to use the symbol as something else, right? While I can do some good. And I like that idea. I think it's a strong idea. Where it's actually leading, it's hard to say, and I hope that gets a little more defined soon. But in an idea, I think it works. In execution, I'll have to wait and see a little bit. But this felt like a good start.
Speaking of inspiration, I know that there's that one guy that dresses up like Batman that patrols around in Las Vegas. He's ended up in the hospital a lot of times. And then there's like this, there's like this team of 4 people that patrol Camden, New Jersey. And I don't know a whole bunch about them. I know they exist though. And they're all costumed. It's some crazy shit. Talk about inspirational.
Oh yeah.
Well, if we're talking real life superheroes, if you've never heard of them, look up Phoenix Jones.
Oh, I remember Phoenix Jones.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a crazy little experiment.
Such a saga.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But...
Okay, so who's Phoenix?
I don't remember where he was based out of.
I want to say like Philly or something.
I want to say Philly or something.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't Phoenix?
Yeah.
No.
It started with a P, I'm pretty sure, so maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this guy that worked at a comic shop, and in the back he had his little Phoenix cave, I guess, and he actually had like judo training and martial arts training, and I think he was an ex-soldier, so he knows combat, but he put on some body armor, put on a balaclava, and patrolled the streets at night.
Yeah. Oh no,
And
it
then,
was. I just looked it up. It was Seattle, which makes
Oh,
more
okay.
sense.
Okay, cool.
yeah, and he inspired a couple of others. I think his wife joined him for a while, but then
Yeah.
he was arrested
Yeah. But
and he was unmasked on live TV, very similar, and he was proud of this, like Spider-Man in Civil War.
yeah. But yeah, no, there was a whole like movement
Yeah.
in Seattle. I'd forgotten about the rest of the movement, but what they called the Rain City superhero movement, where a bunch of people
That's
were
it.
literally just dressing up in costumes and going out and fighting crime.
I am gonna have to drop this in chat so I remember to look it up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy when it happened.
Oh hell, even in my own hometown, there's a man that dresses up. He's got his own bat suit, and he's called Brampton Batman. And
Sweet.
there was a guy somewhere in the Greater Toronto area that built a perfect replica, I think minus the flame spurt at the back, of the Tim Burton Batmobile.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
and he sold it to Brampton Batman. So Brampton Batman actually has his own Batmobile. It's
That
amazing.
is amazing.
It's
Yeah.
fucking great. And he walks around. He doesn't fight crime or anything. He just makes appearances, and like everybody knows him. He'll just walk
Yeah.
around, take photos.
Go to the
I wanna
hospital.
say they had, like,
Oh,
a-
that's cool.
Yeah,
I
I
bet
want to
you-
say they had like a documentary or something on that whole movement, but
It sounds. I think it was on Netflix. It sounds
Yeah.
really familiar, or Amazon.
something like that, where they were just like documenting everything that happened and how crazy it was. But anyway, getting back to the thing that we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
comic books.
Yeah, no,
right?
I really dug this one, and it felt like a really solid start. Again, I'm not sure where the full direction is going, but it at least has my interest. So, 8.5 for me.
There's an 8.5 for me as well. This future, the future of Jace, is a future I'm looking forward to.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this character is fascinating. His take on Batman is very interesting. And like we've seen it happen with Dick, we've seen it happen to other people that take up the mantle. If he's not Batman forever, it'll be a shame, but I really want this guy to keep going.
yeah. I think, like I said, I just like the idea of someone just a complete outsider, just trying to take that symbol. Because obviously, if you were going to have someone officially, have that title, it would be one of the family. But
Yeah.
if you were to explore what would happen if an outsider came in and was like, I want to try and do something, something for the community or what have you. I feel like that also makes for an interesting story too, and I'm glad they're trying to tell that here.
I, for one, hope that they stretch this out about 5 years.
Well, I mean, you don't want it to get stale.
Unless, well, I mean, you could tell all kinds of new shit, new approaches to the way that he handles villains, new villains come in, and of course, people from Jace's past. There's a lot of stuff that can keep shit spicy. Of course, his rocky, tumultuous relationship with the Bat family and where they're at. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could follow that. And, I mean, I just, maybe not exactly 5 years, but I'd like to see it stretched out for at least one or two. And see
Yeah,
what,
I think
what
you
can be
could
done
definitely get a
about that.
good 12 issues out of this. I mean, depending on how far they want to go, but it has I agree with you. It definitely has a good deal of bandwidth where you can kind of do some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, because I'm digging the character. I mean, I don't know of anybody who doesn't like Jay Fox's Batman. Let's roll with it. Roll that beautiful
Yeah.
bean footage.
Well, some of the people in the reviews certainly don't seem to like him.
Well,
I don't know
those
why.
people are
Well,
jerks.
I know I know why, but I'm not going to go there because this is a
Yeah.
family-friendly, fun podcast.
yeah,
But
yeah, all those people live on 4chan.
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
I said good day.
yeah, and that's all we need to say. But that wraps it up for this week. So we will be moving on to our favorite part of the show, and that is our top 3 books, as well as our favorite moment. So, Josh, why don't you kick it off for us?
Number 3, dude, Titans United. I feel like this is setting up something wonderful. I can feel it. I liked it. Number 2, I Am Batman. I wrote down here, though short, I loved it and look forward to a lot more. I'm telling you, dude, that's how good it was. I felt like it was half a comic book. Number 1, Superman and the Authority. The story, the art, the dialogue, the humor, everything worked for me on so many levels. That is a clear and easy number 1 for me. And my favorite moment was also in Superman and the Authority, when Superman says to what's his name, when you've eliminated the very concept of good, how will that make you feel? That whole entire exchange, dude, that was beautiful. Morrison making amazing points right there. It was just, I love it so much. It was
that was really good.
My favorite comic book in quite a while. Straight up, I mean that this has been very enjoyable. I love the way that it's been written. The storyline is cool as shit. The art looks great with it. This is awesome. Everybody should be picking up Superman and the Authority.
Oh yeah, no, mine were a little different, but somewhat similar to yours. I had Last Ride at number 3. I had Batman at number 2, and Soups and the Authority at number 1, of course. That just, I mean, personally, just the finest issue that we've had so far. And my favorite moment is really just that whole page where they're walking towards the door that they've opened, and it's just a bunch of fun banter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Manchester Black with the best line, which is just, all right, leave it out. We can bond on the job. They're all trying to click and stuff. It's just great. Great stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah, I had at number, I want to start with an honorable mention if I can.
No.
Lucky number 4, if you will.
There is no number 4. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I did like 5 of them at the start of the show, dude.
Batman 89 is just blowing my mind. If you're a fan of the Tim Burton verse for Batman, it's just well worth the pickup. It is great.
I didn't have enough time to read issue 2, but issue 1 was pretty damn good, so I'm looking forward to reading it.
And as I teased to Josh, issue 2 is so much better. It is exactly what, and I don't know for sure, I've just heard from rumors that this is exactly what we would have had in Tim Burton's Batman Forever before Schumacher took over.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the same guy who did the screenplay? The script?
Right? I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wish we had this. It would have been amazing.
There is a world out there where it came to be, and once we develop more multiversal technology, we can
one day I will find that world.
Yeah.
Damn it, government, start working. Stop wondering about the flow of ketchup and start working on Stargate.
Yeah. I would kill for that. A machine that could give you stuff from alternate universes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I request 2 things: a copy of Tim Burton's Batman Forever and Shazam starring Sinbad.
Yes.
Oh my God! Don't even start me on the Mandela effect.
We do not have time to get into Mandela.
No, we do not.
Right
Not at the end of the show. Holy shit, guys!
Oh yeah.
Right. So my top 3 before we get into anything else. Number 3, I had Last Ride. It's been quite the ride. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. Number 2, I had Titans United. They are certainly united, and I'm united with them. And number 1, I had Joker. No jokes here. It was just fun for me. I really enjoyed it.
Just slinging the puns today.
I'm saying it's beautiful.
It's what I do.
It's a beautiful thing.
And my favorite moment, I really wanted to pick one from Superman and the Authority because there were so many, but honestly, I couldn't stop thinking about Cass taking down that Talon. She just whooped
That was
his
good.
owl ass.
honestly. And
Yeah,
I love that panel of just Babs and Steph just looking at her like, whoa,
yeah,
okay, like, ooh,
yeah.
damn, that was rough.
So good. And even her Batgirl landing was iconic. It was so
Yeah,
good. And yeah, so that's my top.
very, very cool. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. We have to go into something that is not quite as fun, and I do believe I am catching a whiff of something that does not smell very good.
Ew.
Kind of gross, kind of stinky.
You
Yeah.
step in something?
I know, weird, but that only means that it is time for
Oh, that's nasty.
gentlemen. Which title made you stink was today?
Man, it wasn't anywhere where it needed to be. It wasn't anywhere near what I would ever expect from Zdarsky. My biggest stinker this week was Justice League Last Ride.
Damn, tough break. And mine, unfortunately, has to go to Joker number 7. It just wasn't there for me this week. I mean, not bad by any means, just not quite as gripping as I might have liked. At least the main story.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. I'm curious to hear what Rob's biggest stinker is because we both said shit he liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, this is an awkward one because my top two scoring, right, my lowest two scoring books are just in score, Superman the Authority and I Am Batman, both at 8.5. And neither of those deserve to be, none of, at least I enjoyed the entire damn week that we reviewed anyway.
Rob
everything
says,
was
"I'm
8
not
and
picking
above.
a stinker. I feel constipated. This isn't happening."
Yeah, I think you can. I think we can have a week where you just don't have one. You just
Well,
don't have a stinker.
I have a workaround. I might have a laxative in place.
Yeah, yeah. That's
If you'll allow it.
we can permit that.
I would like to take a book from the dump list
Go ahead.
Oh,
because god damn this one it just pissed me off.
Was it
And that's
Justice League?
Rorschach number
Oh,
12.
oh yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
God.
even read that one, so I have no.
No,
Oh, haven't you?
I only flipped through the last two, I think. I know for sure I only flipped through number 11 and skimmed it, but I was just very interested. I came this far. I wanted to see how it ended, and it was nothing but disappointment.
Yep.
It
Unfortunate.
like they could have gone in such an exciting way. I honestly, for half the series, had this theory that the detective was going to become Rorschach, and then it would all make sense.
Nothing
And
makes
then he
sense.
got halfway there, and nothing happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably go back and finish it at some point.
Go
I
ahead.
don't even
I
think that's
kinda-
worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I do feel bad just kind of jumping ship. Like I want to at least finish it.
Yeah,
But
that's why I slugged through it, but my
Yeah.
God. It seemed interesting at first, like it was going somewhere, and then just no.
that sucks.
Yeah,
Well,
that last page was like, that the fuck, that's it?
Tom King is slated to be at NYCC, so I'm gonna tell him what you said. I'm gonna tell him that you fucking hated it, that you wanted it to burn in a fire, and he's gonna say, "Rob, that bastard Canadian who I've never met before, I can't believe you said that." No, I'm sure he'll be
But
very
you
nice
can
about
tell
it.
him I really enjoyed Mr. Miracle. I'm waiting for the sequel.
I will.
Tell him I said the second half of Batman was trash. Supergirl is trash. Rorschach was trash.
I will tell him exactly that.
And he is poop in a bag. That
Yeah.
all three of those are poop in a bag. That is not
Yeah.
okay.
I will tell him. I'll tell him that apparently they're supposed to. Him, Mitch Gerrits, and Doc Shane are supposed to be doing a panel.
Oh, they're
on,
great.
On Friday. I'm gonna tell him that exactly. So I'm gonna listen to this episode, I'm gonna record that part, specifically that part. I'm gonna play it in front of him.
There you go. Cue
Yeah,
it up
see
in your
what they say.
There
podcast.
you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
And then I'll send you their reaction.
Poop in a bag.
Yeah. No. I don't think we have anything for the dump list.
Not to add to it, the only thing that
No.
we've
No.
got on there still is Batman Urban Legends, which was kind of weird this week with like a conglomerate of different Batman stories. But anyway, Future State Gotham had Warmonger in it. That was weird. Wonder Woman is still odd. Rorschach was boring as shit. Pennyworth, not bad. Suicide Squad King Shark, not bad. Both of those are decent titles.
I read Future State Gotham 5 because I don't even know why. Like I just keep coming back to this book. Like I liked it at first, and then it just totally fell off for me. But it's for some reason I just keep coming back, like like a battered housewife or
Ah,
something.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It was dark.
Man.
No, it
I
it
get what
was
you're saying.
fine. Yeah, no, it was fine. Like it could be worse, but
I mean,
it was just
yeah.
kind of boring. It was just kind of boring, honestly.
I'm kind of opposite of that because the very first issue I felt exactly how you're describing it now. I wasn't into it. It felt awkward and odd. But since you explained to me that it was like a manga style, I've loved it ever since.
See, I want to keep liking it for that, but the story isn't gripping me as much, unfortunately. So maybe that's why I keep coming back to it because I'm hopeful that it will catch my attention again, but it isn't there for me right now.
Oh well.
Oh well.
On the other side of things, have either one of you guys read King Shark?
No, I've been meaning to. I just haven't gotten around to that yet.
It's kind of a cool story for King Shark, man. I dig it.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of fun, and it's Tim Seeley doing it now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No, I keep meaning to like at least give that one a read at some point.
You should pick it up. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Question for you, Josh. When you hear King Shark's voice in your head, do you hear Sylvester Stallone or Ron Funches?
Ron Funches.
Oh,
he's
man.
yeah.
I hear Ron
That's the best
Funches.
King Shark.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's yeah. I can't help it at all.
Yeah.
Like that's Dr. Psycho's voice now.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
unhear that Dr.
Nope.
Psycho.
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah. No, that every time I think of the King Shark from the Harley Quinn show, I literally it's the same joke. It's not even that funny, but like it's literally the same one where it's the episode where they were like stealing something from Atlantis and Aquaman shows up and they're all on the boat and he's like King Shark, your mother would be most displeased if she knew you were here. He's like, you're not my dad. He's like, that is contrary to what she said. It's just so fucking funny.
Oh,
and it's
shit,
just
that's
it's
great.
like
That's great.
it's not even that funny, but it's the way that Aquaman said it. It's just like this like faux elite voice or I don't know what. But it's just like every time.
It's the fanciest. It's the fanciest your mama joke you
That
ever
is-
heard.
I know that is contrary to what she said. Oh. Anyway,
That's awesome.
I think we're good.
I think we are too. What's going on next week, my man?
All right, that is the show. Yes. So next week we will be reviewing a number of books. I don't know what they are because I don't have a list because I didn't do it.
All right. It's Batman number 113, Flash number 774,
There you go.
Nightwing number 84, Catwoman number 35, Batman the Detective number 5, Superman Son of Kal-El number 3, Batman Secret Files Miracle Molly, Shazam number 3, Aquaman the Becoming number 1, and Supergirl will be on the dump list in that week.
Oh, Lord, Jesus.
Yeah. That is a lot of books. We've got 4,
Okay.
6, 8, 9 of them.
Yeah, we might have to do a couple lightning rounds for a couple of them just to get through it.
I imagine Miracle Molly and Shazam and probably The
Yeah.
Flash will all be very quick.
Yeah, hopefully.
Is that a pun or?
Oh my God. Enough with the puns.
Nonsense.
We're done.
Dad jokes are what we do. We make psychic comic predictions and dad jokes. That's what we do.
We can't close out on a dad
It's
joke.
our
That's
claim to
sad.
fame.
All right, well, come back next week for more comics talk when we'll be, we already said what we'll be reviewing, but we'll be here and we hope you'll stop by. Remember to go to notarobotpodcast.com for all of our episodes and our other shows with all sorts of people. But with that, there's only one way that we say goodbye around here. Until next time.
Be good to each other.
And don't be a robot.
Emotions